Hey there, Reddit fans! Welcome to Reddit Readings, the ultimate place for all your favorite Reddit stories, brought to life. I am not happy for an ex-friend of mine getting engaged from the subreddit of True Off My Chest, which was also shared in the OK Storytime subreddit. Very long read. I know her getting married is none of my business, and she will never know anything I am thinking, but I really had to get it off my chest because I'm frustrated. I may sound bitter, but it is what it is. I had a long-term friend since I was 10. Her and I were extremely close, and she was more like family to me than my actual family. At one point, she almost came to live permanently with us. Her sister and sister's best friend are also my best friends. It all changed when got a boyfriend. Her and I had many friends growing up that got into a relationship and changed, and it was something we were sad about and swore never to do. Then she went and did it. She completely pushed our friendship aside for a boy she just met that originally was talking to her sister first. I couldn't even come over to see him without her calling him to come hang out as well, or FaceTiming him. Oh, we're in the hot tub? Perfect time for a FaceTime. They broke up. When I was 17, my family had to move away 18-hour trip, and we kept contact for a while until she stopped responding to me. I kept in contact with my other friends until one day, 2 years later, she reached out and we were back to normal again. I even flew down to see her for a week and stay with her, and there I met her boyfriend, now fiancé. I was really confused who the stranger was picking me up from the airport with her, as she never told me. It was a good visit, and she mentioned her roommate was moving out in a few months, and we talked about me moving in. A few months later, I'm packing and preparing to move when her sister texts me to let me know she is actually going to be moving in because she had nowhere to stay. The week before I was set to move in. I was really hurt, but I knew her sister was priority, and unsure what to do, but decided to move back to our state and got my own place. We started hanging out again and she continued being very inconsiderate. She had me drive an hour over there one time, pick her up and take her an hour to my place. Then she suggested a 2-hour beach trip. I said okay and let's go to Target for a bathing suit. We went and she said she didn't like any there and preferred to pick one up for her place. So we drove an hour back to her place, and surprise, her boyfriend was home from work and now he could come with too. She ignored me the entire time and had an amazing date. Another time, I suggested we go out to eat. She said she had no money, and since we always have each other's back, I said it's okay, I got you. She said, can we wait for my boyfriend? I said sure, even though I knew she would ignore me again, and then $50 later in food, and she drops on me that he has no money either. I paid and third-wheeled for their date. A week later, we are in the drive-thru and she asks if I want anything. I ask for onion rings, and she asks me for the $3. I had no family to celebrate Halloween with, and we always spent Halloween together when we could, so she invited me to go to her boyfriend's family's house. There, I met my boyfriend. He is my first and only guy I have ever dated, and we are now 3 years together. He was also the brother of her boyfriend. Honestly, I thought he was a friend at first, not related. Either way, I didn't want those feelings to ever leave the locked-up place in my head. She asked me if I liked him randomly, and I was honest and told her I did, but I didn't want to pursue him because he was related to her boyfriend. So she went ahead and told her boyfriend, and he gave him my number. So then we are getting serious, and she's trying to gossip with me about him and talk bad about him. Turns out, she never liked him and she thought he was a drunk and a druggie. Good thing she didn't know what she was talking about, because I have only ever known the sweetest man who never touched drugs. She constantly had something bad to say about him and encouraged us to break up all the time. Around this time, we would all hang out, brother and best friends, separately, and she wouldn't want to do anything but see what they were up to. She didn't want to go anywhere, do anything, talk and catch up. It started to become them hanging out and us waiting for it to end. Then one day she comes over steaming mad because she wanted to buy a house, no credit, no car, no savings, all on her boyfriend's credit, and my boyfriend said no, little brother, and gave him advice. Her boyfriend knew he was right, but he let her go off for hours about it. That's when I realized she was no longer a person I wanted to know. We had a small fallout over something else a few weeks later, and we haven't talked in almost 2 years. Ever since then, we don't speak. I have tried talking to her before, but she won't even look at me or acknowledge. Hell, her sister even had a pregnancy scare, and I sent her a message letting her know, since they don't really talk, and she ignored that too. It's the point, even my boyfriend's family has noticed. Her boyfriend is also not allowed to talk to me or else they have to leave. She goes out of her way to talk to my boyfriend. They never stay at family events longer than an hour. His family is not a huge fan of her due to several petty things she did when they first got together. They lived with his mom for 2 months, trashed the room letting their animals pee inside. Also, his mom had asked if she could wear more appropriate shorts as they have teenage boys living there and she refused. They also never see their son anymore. His brother talks to me when it is just us three, but that is not often. I know not being able to be around his family is an issue. He cheated a few months back and she kicked him out for a few days, so he went to stay with his parents. She still never reached out and I pretended I never heard. Then came the news he was proposing. His mom told my boyfriend and said no one is allowed to be there for the engagement, not even her. Then the day comes and his mom is posting photos. I feel so disrespected for his mom. I am not happy for her. I think they are only getting married to fix their relationship. I also foresee a future where everyone is invited but me. But only time will tell if she will change.